Hello friends, this is Mr. Vipul Sonsare. Once again welcome you in our new video lecture. Today we are going to see a microscopy of Tinospora stem, which is again important topic as per the competitive examinations like a GPAT. So we will see the microscopic characteristics of Ephedra stem like a transverse section, powder microscopy, then microchemical test as well as a chemical test of Tinospora stem, which is again important topic as per the competitive examinations like a GPAT. So this Tinospora is also known as Guduchi, then Amrita, in Marathi it is known as Gulvel, in Gujarati it is known as Gilo, then it is also known as Gilo Gurch in Hindi. These are dried stems of Tinospora cordifolia, the plant, the Tinospora cordifolia, belonging to family Menispermaceae. Menispermaceae is somewhat unique family of Tinospora cordifolia, which is easy to remember. Just see the chemical constituent, the number of chemical constituents like alkaloids, then clerodin, furanoditerpenes, sesquiterpene glucosides as well as disaccharides. These are the major chemical constituents. So alkaloids like a palmitin, berberine, temberberine and tetrorhizine. The 4 different alkaloids are there in Tinospora stem. Then just see the clerodin, furanoditerpenes. So 2 different diterpenes, that is colombin and tinosporoside. These are the 2 different furanoditerpenes in Tinospora. Then sesquiterpene glucosides like tinocordifolioside. This is important, sesquiterpene glucoside is also there in Tinospora. And last class of chemical constituent, that is phenyl propane disaccharide. So cordifolioside A and cordifolioside B, these are the 2 important phenyl propane disaccharides. These are the disaccharides with phenyl propane group, the functional group. So these are important chemical constituent in Tinospora stem. Just see the transverse section of Tinospora stem. So transverse section shows the presence of the topmost layer, that is the outermost layer, it is cork. So this cork contains the 5 to 6 layers of thick wall elongated cells. Here you can see the 5 to 6 layers of thick wall elongated cells containing brownish pigment. The brownish pigment is there in cork cells. Next, other important layer, that is cork cambium. So this cork cambium resides just below the cork cells, contain the rectangular cells, the single layer of rectangular cells in cork cambium. Next, other important zone, that is cortex. So this cortex contain 4 to 5 layers of collocamatous cells. The 4 to 5 layers of collocamatous cells, and the lower zone of the cortex, here you can see the upper zone is chlorophyllous zone, which contains the 4 to 5 layers of collocamatous cells. The lower zone, which is non-chlorophyllous zone, lower zone is non-chlorophyllous zone, which contain the parenchymatous cells, parenchymatous cells. Most important thing, the calcium oxalate crystals and starch grains are present in cortex. So this cortex you can divide into 2 different zones, that is chlorophyllous zones, which contain the collocamatous cells, and non-chlorophyllous zone, which contain the parenchymatous cells. So these are the 2 different types of cells in cortex. Just below the cortex, that is pericycle. So this pericycle contains the 7 to 8 layers of lignified scleral chymatous cells. Here you can see the 7 to 8 layers of lignified scleral chromatous cells. Next, shows the presence of phloem below the pericycle. This phloem is appear like caps over the metaxylem. So here you can see just below the phloem, that is xylem. So this phloem appear like a cap over the metaxylem, and here in the phloem the calcium oxalate crystals are present. In the phloem calcium oxalate crystals are present. So calcium oxalate crystals are present in cortex as well as in phloem. Then just below the phloem, that is xylem. So xylem contain the medullary rays. Here you can see central medullary rays. These medullary rays are appear like spokes of wheel. So this wheel of bicycle contains the spokes, and so these medullary rays appear like spokes of wheel. Here you can see elongated medullary rays which are present in xylem. Then xylem also contains the xylem vessels, which are the lignified peated vessels, that is lignified peated xylem vessels in xylem. Then other important component in xylem, that is xylem parenchyma, then tracheoids and xylem fibers. These are the minor components in xylem, that is xylem parenchyma, tracheoids and xylem fibers. Then the central component, that is pits. This is small central parenchymatous portion of the stem which contains the starch, the important constituent in pits, that is starch is present in pits. So this is up to the transverse section of Ctenospora stem. Just see the powder microscopy. As we discussed earlier, the transverse section shows the presence of cork. So important microscopic characteristics of Ctenospora powder, that is cork cell. So this cork cell are polygonal cells with coloring matter, because the presence of brownish pigment in cork. So the coloring matter is there in cork cells. This cork cells shows the presence of choriochromatous cells of cortex. Then fibers, these are the lignified thick wall fibers with blunt ends. The xylem vessels are lignified cylindrical xylem vessels. Then shows the presence of scleral chromatous cells. So these scleral chromatous cells are lignified thick wall scleral chromatous cells, generally appear in groups. Calcium oxalate crystals, which are present in pericycle as well as in cortex of the Ctenospora. These are of prisms and clusters, shape calcium oxalate crystals. And starch grains, which are present in cortex as well as in pits. The starch grains are simple and compound starch grains. So this is up to the powder microscopy. The important microscopic characteristics are the cork cells and scleral chromatous cells. So the scleral chromatous cells are present in pericycle and cork cells are present in as in cork layer. These are the important microscopic characteristics of Ctenospora powder. Just see the microchemical test. So in presence of fluoroglucinol and concentrated HCl, the scleral chromatous cells of pericycle shows the pink color. The starch is also present, so that shows the blue color in presence of iodine. Then calcium oxalate crystals are dissolved with effervescence in presence of dilute hydrochloric acid. The prisms and cluster shaped calcium oxalate crystals will dissolve with effervescence in presence of dilute hydrochloric acid, and in presence of 60% sulfuric acid, the needle shaped calcium sulfate crystals are formed from calcium oxalate crystals. So these are important microchemical test. Generally see the chemical test, as this Ctenospora shows the presence of alkaloids. 4 different alkaloids are there, we discussed earlier. So general chemical test for alkaloids, like a Mayer's test, Hager's test, drag and drop test and Wagner's test. These 4 tests can be used to identify the alkaloids in Tinospora. As such, there is no any specific chemical test for Tinospora. Thank you.